True Hauntings is a Frightfully Good production.
For most of the Northern Hemisphere, telling ghost stories at Christmas is practically a national sport. They've got snow, long nights, roaring fireplaces, and enough Victorian melodrama to make it feel very appropriate. But long before True Hauntings ever existed, we were swapping spooky stories at Christmas too. But let's face it, Australians don't need frostbite and candlelight to dabble in the uncanny. We'll tell a ghost story in 38-degree heat with a fan on full blast and a plate of prawns sweating on the table.
So this year we're honouring both traditions. We're gathering a few chilling tales from the other side of the globe, the classic wintry kind. But we didn't stop there, oh no. We've also dug up a whole array of Australian Christmas hauntings because our ghosts don't take holidays either. They turn up the heat, in the bush, in old prisons, and apparently even in the middle of Boxing Day sales. Hi, I'm Renata.
And I'm Anne, and we invite you to this very festive and special Christmas Hauntings episode of the True Hauntings Podcast. Sit back, relax, and carve yourself a generous slice of Lion's Christmas cake, and don't be shy with the brandy-flavoured ready-made custard on top. This is Christmas True Haunting style. Stories, spirits, and a little seasonal chaos. Let's enjoy these spooky tales together.
Anne and Renata have been investigating paranormal occurrences for the past 20 years. They have been at the center of various unexplained phenomena and have witnessed countless ghostly experiences. The duo now turn to high-profile cases that have attracted the eyes of the world. Between the dimensions we see and the dimensions we don't, supernatural forces are at play. Evil lurks within the shadows of our homes and in the darkest corners of our minds. It follows us like a shadow, forever. This is where nightmares become reality. This is True Hauntings.
Welcome to the studio, Anne. How are you today?
Oh, I'm doing mighty fine in this 35-degree heat outside.
I know it's 39 now. Let me stress that.
Great. But we thought we'd do something special for you, and we have released this episode just a wee bit early because we know that the tradition of telling spooky stories happens on Christmas Eve, so you've got to have it for Christmas Eve.
Absolutely.
So a few days early. Look at us being organised.
I know, who would have thunk that would have happened. It is the end of the year, so we're going hard, man. We're going hard.
If you'd like to watch our YouTube show that we did the other day, we'll go hard with 2 fingers. If you want to know what that reference means, you're going to have to watch Ghost Chat from the first week of December. But we're just going to tell some stories. We haven't really worked out how this is going to work, so it's just going to unfold however it happens. Renata's very giggly today, so you might even get a snort if you're lucky.
If you're lucky. I'm just going to stay on the Christmas Grinch side. Thank you very much.
All right, you go for it.
All right. Well, I'm going to present a couple of Christmas stories from Australia as Anne presents some stories from overseas. So let's get stuck into 2 very short Christmas stories right now. One from Monte Cristo Homestead, which is renowned in Australia as being the most haunted homestead in the country.
It's a bit renowned at the moment for some controversy.
Yeah, and the Nullarbor Christmas Eve Hitchhiker. So let us begin. Now, Monte Cristo is already the overachiever of haunted houses, Australia's most haunted, creepiest in the Southern Hemisphere, the whole box and dice if you want to read any of the newspapers over the last couple of years. But here's the part most people don't know. Every Christmas Day, the footsteps start up again. Caretakers over the years have sworn that Christmas seems to wake something up. Visitors hear slow, deliberate pacing across the upstairs landing out onto the balcony. Each step heavy, like someone wearing period boots.
I'm not even going to ask. That's mushy.
don't know.
I don't think you thought that through when you wrote it.
I'm just going to leave that there.
Merry Christmas, everyone.
Oh,
I've started early. Oh, you're going to cry.
okay. What I love is...
I'm just going to slip into my period boots right now. Oh, we're going to leave this stuff unedited. This is your Christmas present from us.
You know how your ADHD brain goes to the end of the sentence and reads it all back before the words come out of your mouth? That's what happened. And I've gone, hold on.
Wait a minute.
So what I love is that it always pauses in the same spot, and as though someone is standing there watching and waiting, maybe wondering why the Crawley family haven't put out a roast. That was a word that changed halfway through.
So now they haven't put out, huh? Probably because of the period boots, I'm guessing.
I can't see.
Yes, her glasses have completely fogged up. We're sitting in blasting air conditioning trying to record this.
All right. When I first heard this, I thought, oh, good, even the ghosts have annual traditions.
Everyone, that's our dogs. They thought they'd join in on the Christmas fun. This is just going to be chaos. Absolute chaos.
Right. When I first heard this, I thought, oh, good, even the ghosts have annual traditions. Meanwhile, I can't even get my family to agree on what time lunch starts. There's a particular shadowy figure that reportedly only appears on bright Christmas afternoons, as if sunlight somehow sharpens the haunting rather than dispelling it. And honestly, if there was ever going to be a location where the ghosts say, right, it's Christmas, time to do the rounds, it's Monte Cristo. Now we're going to go to the Nullarbor Christmas Eve hitchhiker.
Okay.
Yeah, that's it.
Oh, by the way, the Crawleys are the people who used to own the house originally, and then it was bought by Reg and Olive, who renovated it, and then their son, one of the three or however many children, ran the ghost tours there with Reg and Olive until Reg passed away, and then eventually Olive passed away, and now the whole house has gone up for sale, and there is a lot of turmoil around it, which we're not going to go into, but if you go over to our YouTube episodes and listen to the Paranormal Hot Seat, you'll hear some of that. Look at all these crossovers I'm doing, Renata.
Yeah, absolutely fabulous. The thing about Monte Cristo is that it is very famous for a very long time. That comes down to Reg and fabulous storytelling, and he was a master of sales. Always a master of sales. So he could sell ice to the Eskimos. And
we loved the heart-shaped schnitzels that were sold. They were great.
Yeah. And these are short stories from Australia, absolutely, because it's too hot to go for long.
Okay.
So
I'm going for long.
Mine are short and sweet.
But it is my wedding anniversary. So.
This is True Hauntings Unfiltered, Ed.
Yes, so this is what we should call this episode, True Hauntings Unfiltered at Christmas.
Yeah. So this next one is so consistently reported that even the toughest truckies will go quiet when you bring it up. And truckies are...
They're tough people, as Renata said, tough.
Every Christmas Eve, somewhere between Border Village and Majura, drivers see the same woman on the roadside. It's a long, pale dress, a stillness that doesn't quite match the heat shimmer behind her. They slow down, because even hardened truck drivers don't want to leave someone stranded on Christmas Eve. And she's gone. Not walked off, not hidden, just gone. Some drivers report that their cab cameras glitch at the exact moment. One swears he saw her in the passenger mirror, sitting there for half a second before vanishing. This is the point where most truckies simply say, yeah,
you're not.
Don't pick up anyone on Christmas Eve around there, which is as Australian a warning as you'll ever hear. The Nullarbor is lonely even on an ordinary night. On Christmas Eve, it seems the dead are looking for a lift too.
Now, the Nullarbor is in the middle of Australia, and it is very vast, and when we tell tourists, you must do your research before driving through the Nullarbor and make sure you are equipped. We mean it. We mean it. There is nothing. There are no EV chargers. Don't think you can get across with the EV.
You can try and plug into a tree if you find one.
I would try, but I wouldn't. I have an EV and I would know not to do it. There is many thousands of miles with no water or shops or anything. No fuel.
Very straight road too.
Yeah, you've got to carry everything with you for the trip. Is it my turn to do one? Let's mix it up a bit.
Yeah, your turn.
All right. I've got one for you, Renata.
You got a long story.
Oh, mine's so long.
Mine is short.
I've got 3 long ones. But this one is taken from Reddit and it's based on a true story, but obviously I have changed a lot of the information in it so that we don't get in trouble for copyright. Nana Wrapped the Gifts is my title.
Oh.
Caleb Turner had always loved Christmas. He used to throw himself into the season with the enthusiasm of a child, tinsel in his hair, flour on his jumper from baking, the works. Sounds like an ADHDer to me. But this year felt different. This was the first Christmas since his mother had passed, and the holiday spirit wasn't so much lacking as it was muted, like someone had turned the joy down to a low hum. His 7-year-old daughter, Maisie, was doing her best to carry the festive cheer for both of them.
Oh,
that's
sweet
a
Maisie.
big burden for a 7-year-old. She'd drawn wobbly snowmen on construction paper, hung decorations in strange clusters, and insisted they bake Nana's famous burnt gingerbread, which somehow tasted perfect despite its charcoal edges. I call that caramelised.
Yes.
Caleb smiled for her sake, but every night when Maisie was asleep and the house settled into its lonely quiet, he felt the weight of grief pressing down like early winter frost. One night, about a week before Christmas, he fell asleep on the couch after wrapping exactly one present, a book for Maisie, and giving up on the rest. Wrapping had never been his strong point. His mother, on the other hand, she could wrap anything, even something shaped like a lumpy potato, and make it look like it came from a high-end boutique. When Caleb woke the next morning, stiff-necked and bleary-eyed, he nearly tripped over the sight in front of him. 3 presents sat under the tree, wrapped, beautifully wrapped. Tidy creases, crisp folds, like miniature works of art.
I was going to say, did Maisie creep out in the middle of the night and do it, but it was too tidy.
Yeah, my presents never look like that. I'm always envious of the people who wrap their presents to perfection.
Oh, they secretly go to the shops and get them done for free.
They go to Myers, do they?
They probably do.
Not his work. He could barely manage tape without sticking it to his sleeve. Oh, I don't stick it to the sleeve. I stick it to all the other Christmas paper and then tear holes in it. He stood there blinking. Had he done it half asleep? Had Maisie? Before he could puzzle it out, Maisie padded into the room in her fluffy penguin pyjamas. "Daddy, look," she squealed. "Nana wrapped my presents." The words froze him in place. "Honey, Nana's not here anymore." Maisie considered this seriously, then shrugged. "She was here last night. She told me you would tuck it out." A chill slipped down Caleb's spine.
Oh, so cool.
Yeah, not frightening exactly, but cold in a way that didn't match the warm room. And I've had that chill. The very first EVP that I realised I'd caught, I felt like somebody had dumped a bucket of ice water on me. He crouched down beside her. "Maisie, did you wrap these?" "No," she said simply. "I can't make bows like that. Only Nana can." Then she skipped off, humming one of the carols his mother used to sing. Caleb sat heavily on the arm of the sofa. It wasn't possible. It couldn't be possible. But the bows! Those perfect bows! Over the next few days, odd things began happening. He'd come home from work and find the dishes left haphazardly in the sink that morning, rinsed and neatly stacked in the drying rack. We all want a ghost like that.
Oh, yes,
We want that ghost.
Please.
Lights he swore he'd turned off mysteriously flipped themselves on just before sunset, as if someone didn't want the house to look cold and empty. A draft of warm, sweet air. Don't know what that is in my house. It's not sweet. Sorry, let me just rephrase that for you, everyone.
Yes, please.
A draft of warm, sweet air, warmth, when every other part of the house felt wintry, would drift past him whenever he walked by the Christmas tree. It smelled faintly of cinnamon. That had been his mother's favourite candle scent. Once he walked into the living room to find the small wooden nativity set his mother's rearranged. The shepherds were closer to the manger. The baby Jesus lay snugly tucked under Maisie's lost baby sock, like someone had tried to keep it warm. He didn't tell Maisie. He didn't tell anyone, but he watched. And the more he watched, the more the impossible began to feel comforting. A presence. Soft, domestic, helpful, almost familiar. On Christmas Eve, snow began to fall, lazy flakes that swirled under the streetlights like glitter. Maisie had gone to bed excited, certain Santa was going to bring her the telescope she'd begged for. Caleb stayed up to finish the last few unwrapped gifts. He tried, he really did, but his wrapping efforts were so hopeless, he ended up just laughing at himself. "All right," he muttered, tossing the roll of tape aside. "I get it, Mum, you win." He placed the unwrapped gifts in a neat pile beside the paper, intending to deal with them in the morning. Then he turned off the lights, locked the door, and headed to bed. Around 1:30 a.m, he woke suddenly. Not to a sound, more like the absence of sound. A hush, a stillness thick enough to feel. Then he heard it. I jokingly said I was going to do that, and I had the opportunity.
Oh, okay.
Our microphone stand is broken and it's taped on, and it's perfect. I'm just saying. Crinkle, crinkle, crinkle.
So why they call him Chris Kringle? Oh, dear.
Unmistakable sound of wrapping paper being smoothed by careful hands. Caleb quietly climbed out of bed and padded down the hallway. He didn't turn on the lights. Something instinctive told him not to startle whatever was in the living room. He peeked around the corner, and his breath caught. Beside the softly glowing Christmas tree stood a figure, not solid, not quite transparent either. A soft, silvery outline shaped like a woman bent over a box, smoothing the last edge of the wrapping paper. The air near her shimmered like heat on pavement. The scent of cinnamon swirled. Caleb whispered.
Whisted. It's a special thing that you do at Christmas time. You whist.
You whist like Xmas. Caleb whispered, barely audible, "Mum." The figure paused. Very slowly she straightened. She didn't turn around, but the room was filled with a warmth he hadn't felt in months. A warmth he'd only ever associated with her embrace. He felt a rush of emotion, gratitude, longing, homesickness for someone who'd been home itself. "Thank you," he choked. The figure lifted one translucent hand as though to stroke the ribbon on the finished gift. Then she faded, dissolving into a swirl of light that drifted upward like dust caught in moonbeam. So this is what really happens in the True Hauntings podcast, everyone. Drifted upwards like dust caught in moonbeam. I can't say it.
Say moonlight. Moonlight.
No, I can say it. Moonbeams. Then she faded, dissolving into a swirl of light that drifted upward like dust caught in moonbeams. There should have been a round of applause there, Renata.
Can add it in.
The room fell dark, silent, empty again, but no longer lonely. Maisie shook him awake at dawn, bouncing with excitement. "Daddy, Daddy, Santa's arrived. And Nana said goodbye. He sat up, heart hitching. Hitching? Heart hitching? Hitching. He sat up, heart beating.
Oh.
That sounds better, doesn't it?
Yeah.
She did? Yeah, Maisie said matter of fact. She said she's got to be somewhere else now, but she'll check on us next Christmas if we're good. Caleb swallowed hard. Downstairs, every gift was flawlessly wrapped. Even his clumsy attempts had been gently redone with tidy creases and perfect bows. Maisie dove into her present, squealing with delight. Caleb watched her smiling, really smiling for the first time in weeks. He didn't know what he believed anymore. He didn't know what the afterlife held or what rules governed these small miracles, but he knew this. His mother had loved Christmas, and she had loved him, and maybe, just maybe, love didn't stop with death. That Christmas morning, surrounded by wrapping paper and the smell of cinnamon, Caleb felt something he hadn't felt in a long time. Hope.
Aww.
Aww. Did you like it?
Yes, lovely.
Nice.
Lovely, thank you.
What have you got now?
I've got some more stories from Australia. This one is the Blue Mountains.
Oh, I love the Blue Mountains. It's the closest we get to cold up there for Christmas.
And this is the Boxing Day Woman in White. So Boxing Day is meant to be about leftovers and regretting how much ham you ate. But up in the Blue Mountains, it's apparently also Apparition Day. Bushwalkers near Mount Victoria report sightings of a woman in old-fashioned clothing walking ahead on the track. They call out to her. Nothing. She glides around a bend, and when they follow, she's gone. The interesting detail is the date. Nearly all of these sightings occur on Boxing Day. Now, historically, a young woman did fall to her death there on the 26th of December in the early 1900s. And I've always said, ghosts aren't random. They're tied to memory, trauma, and repetition. And if she died on Boxing Day, maybe she's still keeping time. Now, this one comes from Fremantle Prison.
Sorry. That was it, right.
They are short and sweet.
Thank you, Renata. That was very sweet. Loved it. Thank you for your woman in white. Was she in a Victorian night dress by any chance?
Absolutely.
Yes.
Absolutely. These are short and sweet. We don't waste time in Australia telling stories. Fremantle Prison. Now, this goes all the way over to the other side of Australia. It takes about 8 hours in a plane from where we are over there.
With screaming children, if you remember that flight.
Country.
And for those who are our paid subscribers on YouTube, there's a little video of what we experienced.
So this is a ghost that was seen in Fremantle Prison at Christmas lunch. This one actually makes me laugh because it is so unbelievably Australian. Every year around late morning on Christmas Day, Fremantle Prison guides report seeing an older man in early 1900s prison staff uniform walking through the kitchen block. They are open on Christmas Day.
I hope they get triple rates.
That's not fair. So they see him as solid looking. It's super clear and absolutely not a living worker. And he walks to the old stove area and then fades. Now, one guide said, he's just annoyed no one's cooking him pudding anymore. And honestly, if I came back after death and discovered there was no more Christmas puddings, I'd probably haunt the kitchen too.
Oh, absolutely.
Because I love a good pud.
You do?
A good pud.
Do you still put the silver coin in there?
No, never done any of that.
No, my dad was big on that.
It's not part of our history.
Yeah.
Can I just do one more quickie?
Oh, all right.
The George, the George Street Christmas ghost.
Gorging.
And this is Sydney.
Oh, Sydney. It's a very popular street, famous street in Sydney CBD.
Yes.
That's not cannabis oil. That's the Central Business District CBD. I've got to explain this. Some people overseas might have different sort of words
ideas,
for those CBD.
Yes. So this is modern and honestly one of my favourites because it is so Sydney. Retail workers along George Street, especially in the QVB and mid-city areas. Now, the QVB is this amazing old historic building that sits in the middle of the central business district, that's
Yes.
CBD area. And we have the QV
Oh, I was wondering where you were going there.
QVB. The Queen Victoria building is the one that we're talking about, and
Yes.
it's beautiful. It's an old restored building that is now a high-end shopping destination.
Somewhere we don't shop.
No. So retail workers along George Street, especially around the QVB, report seeing a woman in 1800s clothing walking the closed floors on Christmas Eve. They lock up, turn around, and there she is,
Hello.
silently wandering past a rack of modern clothes like she's judging the fashion choices.
Or she's upset that she was buried in what she was buried in and then has to wear that. And I'd like those
Now-
knee-high boots and mini skirt, or
See-
twat skirt as they call them. Or what skirt? I think I've upset her. Come on, do it, Renata. Let it out. Let it out.
CCTV catches nothing but flickers,
Oh, isn't
and
that
security guards now routinely say she's calmer than the customers, which tells you everything you need to know about retail at Christmas. Oh my gosh. You don't go out at Christmas time in Australia
No,
just the week beforehand.
you don't go out in summer.
No, because everyone's doing their shopping last minute.
Yep.
She's described as harmless, just present, almost like she's doing her own Christmas shopping. So there you are. That's another little ghosty story.
All right. Well, I've got a big one now.
All right.
So this one, again, from Reddit. The information's changed a bit, so I don't get in trouble. This is called the Midnight Snow Thing.
The midnight snow thing.
Oh,
Go.
thanks. Right, okay. I'm waiting for you to finish rattling your papers. The storm came down in glittering sheets, rattling against the windows like skeletal fingers. Little Ellie sat curled up in her grandmother's old recliner, her feet tucked under a blanket patterned with reindeer. The house hummed with warmth, furnace breathing steadily, cinnamon candles melting into sweet pools, lights from the Christmas tree blinking like tiny galaxies. Her father, Daniel, stood at the window motionless. He'd been there for nearly 20 minutes. Ellie followed his gaze to the front yard, where the shape of the snowman she'd built earlier that afternoon stood lumpy and proud in the drifting snow. It was almost funny how badly proportioned it was. 3 uneven balls stacked.
Very interesting.
Yeah, no, this is 3 balls stacked one on top of the other. Not 3 balls. Oh, she's gone. That's a 747 straight over your head. How could you not giggle at that? 3 balls, Renata.
No.
Oh, she's
No.
lost her funny. 3 uneven balls stacked like misshapen pancakes. Ellie had stuck mismatched buttons down its front, a cracked flower pot for a hat, and 2 pine cones for eyes. When the storm rolled in, she whispered goodbye to it, half in play, half apology. But her father wasn't smiling. "Dad?" she asked softly. Daniel didn't turn. "It's watching the house," he murmured. Ellie laughed. "It's a snowman." He exhaled, fogging the glass. "It wasn't there 10 minutes ago." Ellie blinked. "What do you mean? I built it there." Daniel shook his head. His voice was thin. "No, sweetheart. You built it by the fence, by the maple tree."
Uh-oh.
Ellie sat up straighter.
Uh-oh.
She hadn't moved it. She couldn't have moved it. The thing weighed more than she did. Oh, maybe the wind? No wind moves 100 kilos of snow, Elle. His knuckles whitened around the curtain. A gust howled against the house. The Christmas lights flickered. Her father stepped back from the window as though something had shifted on the other side. Ellie swallowed. He didn't answer. Instead, he clicked off the living room lights, plunging them into shadows broken only by the coloured bulbs on the tree. "Dad!" "Just stay away from the windows." He left the room. What sort of dad is that turns off the lights and then leaves the room with a moving snowman outside?
Where's the kid?
The kid's
Where's
been left down there by herself now.
No, you horrible person.
That's not good parenting, I'm just saying.
No.
Ellie's stomach tightened the way it did before thunderstorms or dentist appointments. She slipped off the chair and approached the window despite his warning. She couldn't help it. The snowman was hers after all. Her small hands pressed to the gold glass. At first, she saw only white.
Don't look in its eyes.
Then, as the wind cleared a momentary channel, she saw it clearly.
Don't look in its eyes.
The snowman stood much closer to the house, 2 meters from the porch steps. Ellie stumbled back, breath hitching.
What's with the hitching thing?
It might be American. Maybe our American audiences can explain this hitching thing, tying up horses to a post or something. Don't know what this has got to do with breath. Anyway, she rubbed her eyes and pressed her face to the window again. Yes, closer. Definitely closer. The pine cone eyes...
Don't look in its eyes.
Don't look in its eyes. The pine cone eyes stared ahead unblinking. The flower pot hat tilted slightly as though adjusting to get a better view inside. Something shifted in her periphery. Her father returning, carrying the fireplace poker with both hands. Oh, he's got a weapon. He's been watching Supernatural.
He's going to stab it
with
his steely knife.
You know you've got to grab the fire poker when there's a demon snowman outside. Dad, it moved. He didn't answer. His eyes were glassy, unfocused. Oh, is he coming for her with the poker? Oh. Then it's lonely. Ellie's bones went cold. What? It stood out there all day, he whispered, forgotten, melting at the edges, watching us through the warmth. His glaze slid across the room like a sleepwalker's. Things notice warmth, Ellie. They always have. He set the poker on the coffee table with a soft metallic clink. And then he went to the window again. Dad, you're scaring me. It wants in. His voice was almost gentle. I can feel it, Elle. It wants to be part of us. Ellie trembled. Please, stop. He didn't. He pressed his palms to the glass. The storm outside shrieked. It wishes it could be warm, he said. Wishes it could feel something before it melts. Wishes it could stop being nothing but cold and quiet. His head tilted slightly. And it's learning how. Ellie backed away slowly. She'd seen her father frightened before. Storms, break-ins, the year their basement flooded. But she'd never seen him strange, detached, whispering in the dark. Let's go upstairs, she said. We can call Mum. She'll know what to do. Her father inhaled sharply, as if something outside had startled him. It moved, he said softly. Just now it moved. Ellie didn't look. She didn't want to. But the house suddenly groaned, wood popping like knuckles under pressure. Her father stepped back, and the doorbell rang. One clear ding-dong that echoed through the house like a church bell in a blizzard. Ellie screamed. Her father didn't. He approached the door. Dad, no, she cried, grabbing his sleeve. It's polite, he whispered. It knocked. It didn't knock. It rang. It wants to come inside, he said, smiling faintly. His eyes were wet. It wants us to invite it in. Another ring, then another. The sound grew distorted, warbling as though coming through layers of frost. Ellie backed away. Please don't open it, please. But he was already undoing the deadbolt. The crack of winter air punched into the house, and the Christmas lights flickered violently. Ellie hid behind the recliner, peeking over the armrest. The open doorway was nothing but swirling white, a tunnel of storm. She didn't see anything cross the threshold, but the air changed. The temperature dropped. Every light bulb in the house dimmed. Her father closed the door slowly, face pale. "It's in," he whispered. And then he collapsed. Ellie ran to him, shaking, screaming. He was breathing, but faint. Lips were blue. Something creaked behind her. She turned. A trail of melting droplets led from the doorway across the hardwood floor. Drip, drip, drip. Ellie staggered backwards. The droplets were arranging themselves, gathering into patterns, forming perfect little circles, then mounds, then ridges, as though something unseen were trying to build itself piece by piece. A shape assembling, a torso, a crooked ridge for shoulders, a hollow indentation where eyes might go. Ellie ran. She tore up the staircase 2 steps at a time, slipped into her bedroom, slammed the door, and pressed her weight against it. The house creaked again, but slower this time, like something dragging itself. Her breath fogged in the room. Her fingers numbed. She heard moist slaps on the stairs. Something heavy, something wet. Then a voice. Her father's, or something that wasn't quite her father. "Ellie," it crooned, "I'm so cold." Her eyes flooded with terror. "Let me in, sweetheart," the voice whispered. "Let me feel warm." Something pressed against her door. Not a fist, not a hand. Something round, heavy, damp, sliding upward. She clamped her palms over her ears, trembling so violently the metal hinges rattled. "Please open the door," the voice whispered again, except now it layered like 2 voices speaking together. Her door handle twitched. Turning slightly, stopped. A wet thump hit the floorboards outside, then a scraping sound, as though icy fingers were being drawn backwards across the hallway. And then silence. Ellie didn't move for hours, not until morning sunlight finally pushed through her curtains, warming her numb face. She crept downstairs, calling for her father. He was lying near the doorway, waking groggily. Their house was warm again. The storm passed. "Daddy?" He sat up slowly, rubbing his head. What happened?" Ellie opened her mouth, but no words came out. Instead, she pointed to the front yard. Her snowman, the one she built, stood once again by the fence under the maple tree, except now its pine cone eyes were different. They were wet, darkened, not frozen at all, like they had cried.
Bugger.
That's a good story. That's a really good story.
It's horrible.
I love it.
Horrible.
I love it. I think we might have to publish these on YouTube as little stories, vignettes, after we've done True Hauntings.
Yes, very, very good story.
Well, we've had a little bit of a break since we recorded that last one because we had to race off and do a radio show as you do. But Renata, I believe you've got a story for us.
I do. I do. Before I give this last story from me, I just want to say it's been very difficult to find Australian ghost stories around Christmas. So they're hiding somewhere, or they're very, very short. You'll all be pleased that this one is longer than 2 minutes, Anne.
I'm looking forward to you doing one like this. This is going to be good.
Okay, so this is a Christmas guardian of Smoky Cape. Let's get into it. On the far north coast of New South Wales, where the Pacific crashes endlessly against jagged stones, stands Smoky Cape Lighthouse. In summer, the cliffs glow gold. The water sparkles blue.
Sorry, I just moved my microphone. I'm already sabotaging your story. Sorry about that.
And the walking tracks smell of warm eucalyptus. But at Christmas time, when the holiday makers fill the beaches and the cicadas scream in the heat, the lighthouse remembers a much older story, one whispered by keepers, their children, and the few who have dared to spend a Christmas night alone on the headland. And this is the story of the Christmas Guardian. And if anyone has ever suffered through cicadas on a hot summer day,
They could be deafening.
oh, it's like tinnitus times 1,000.
Yes, for those of us who
Have tinnitus, you
all
know.
know about tinnitus.
Oh, I'm never coming to Australia, they're saying. So it begins more than a century ago when Smoky Cape was one of the loneliest postings in the colony. Supplies were unpredictable and storms could trap you for weeks. And Christmas for the lighthouse keepers was less about celebration and more about holding onto whatever small comforts you could muster. A handmade decoration, a ginger biscuit, a letter that might arrive months later.
Do you still have Christmas decorations your kids made?
No,
I think I do.
no,
So
I
I'm
don't.
more of a hoarder than you.
On Christmas Eve of 1901, keeper Thomas Bailey and his wife Martha had just finished setting the supper table. Outside the surf was quiet, too quiet. Inside the air hung thick and warm, the kind of heat that makes your skin prickle. Within, that's two words that I joined together.
It's a new word, everyone. Just write that down into your thesaurus and dictionary.
Then, without warning, every kerosene lamp in the lighthouse flickered and went off. Martha gasped. The kitchen plunged into darkness.
Hey, it's dark.
Thomas felt a cold breath brush the back of his neck, an impossible chill in the stifling summer night. Thinking a sudden storm was about to break, he grabbed his lantern and stepped outside to check the weather. But the sky was clear. No wind, no clouds, just a blanket of stars and the soft hiss of the sea. And then he saw it. A light, pale, floating and silent, drifting along the narrow path that wound around the cliff. Not a lantern, not a torch, more like a small sphere of mist glowing from within. It's an orb! It's an orb! It's an orb! Oh my God! Thomas called out, "It's an orb!" No, he didn't, assuming it was a lost traveller heading dangerously close to the edge. But the
We're always close to the edge.
close to the edge all the time.
24/7.
Oh, that triggered me. I'm sorry. Okay, close to the edge. But the light didn't answer. It simply glided forward as if beckoning him to follow. So he did. The closer he got, the more the light changed shape, stretching, softening, until it formed the outline of a young woman. Her dress flowed like sea foam. Wow. Her face was gentle but sorrowful, eyes fixed on Thomas with an urgency he could feel more than understand. She raised one arm and pointed toward the cliff. Thomas froze. The ground beneath his boots trembled, a slow groaning shudder that rolled through the earth like a living thing. Then it happened. A whole section of the cliff face tore free and dropped into the ocean below with a deafening roar. Stone shattered, waves exploded upward, and the track ahead of him vanished into nothingness. If Thomas had taken even one more step, he would have gone with it.
Oh, wow.
When he lifted his lantern again, the woman was gone. No glow, no figure, only the empty, collapsing coastline and the cold night air pressing in around him. Shaking, he hurried back to the lighthouse. Martha was inside relighting the lamps, which
Hi, John.
strangely
What happened, John?
now burned perfectly, as though nothing had disturbed them at all. Thomas told her what he had seen. She listened without disbelief. Many families stationed there had heard whispers of a young woman who had died in a shipwreck decades earlier, on Christmas Day, no less, when desperate passengers tried to swim ashore. Some said her spirit lingered on the headland, watching over anyone who walked too close to the edge. From that night on, the Baileys called her the Christmas Guardian, and they were not the only ones. Over the years, other keepers reported a similar figure, a drifting light, a woman in white, appearing only in the days around Christmas. Sometimes she was seen near unstable rock, sometimes near the track after heavy rain. Always silent, always watching. Some believed she warned of danger, a benevolent spirit tied forever to the season of her death. Others claimed she mourned Christmas itself, reaching for a holiday she never lived to see. Skeptics insisted it was nothing more than heat haze, tricks of the eye, or the eerie blue glow from St. Elmo's fire. But those who have stood on that cliff rarely stood there, with the wind in their hair and the ocean churning below, will tell you that sometimes something lingers at Smoky Cape, something gentle but purposeful, something that returns when Christmas draws near. Even now, bushwalkers occasionally report a faint light drifting by the path at dusk, or the fleeting shape of a woman where no one else could possibly stand. Maybe it's a ghost, maybe it's a memory. Maybe it's Christmas trying to remind us that even in the darkest moments there is someone or something still looking out for us. Whatever the truth is, one thing is certain. On Christmas Eve, Smoky Cape Lighthouse shines just a little brighter, but not all that light comes from the tower.
Oh, that's awesome. Oh, I like that one.
That's very nice.
You
I
know,
like it too.
I grew up next to a lighthouse.
Yes, I do know.
And I do remember a few landslips where the side of the island would slide off.
Mm-hmm.
And there were tunnels underneath it. This is Nobby's Island. And sometimes the tunnels would collapse and the whole island would shudder. And it was terrifying.
Mm-hmm.
Because you never knew whether your house was going to collapse or the whole thing would go.
Mm-hmm.
But it must have been safe because they left us all living up there for quite some time, although it's not anymore.
No.
They're all out. But we also had a guardian up there as well.
Did you?
We did. His name was Seaweed.
Yes.
It was my cat.
Oh, I love that name.
I know. Well, he was found floating down the river in a plastic bag
Oh,
with 3 other kittens,
gosh.
and the other kittens had passed, and he was saved.
What is wrong with people?
I know. And he was hand-reared by my mum and myself and my dad, and his name was Seaweed, and he was always very special. And we would quite often get people coming up to the top of Nobby's who may not have been in the best state of mind,
Mm-hmm.
and there's a big cliff and a big jump there.
Mm-hmm.
Always reach out for help, people. If you feel that things are getting tough for you, reach out. There's Lifeline here in Australia, Beyond Blue, and I'm sure there's lots of places around the world where you can reach out for help. But he seemed to know when somebody might be struggling, and they would sit on the edge of the cliff, and he was seen quite often going over and rubbing up against them, and they would start to pat him, they would talk to him, and they would get up and go back
Oh
to their
my
life.
God.
He was a special cat.
Oh, that is amazing.
Yeah, so quite often they'd also call help
Mm-hmm.
to come up and see if that person needed some help. But I think he saved quite a few souls.
Mm.
He died youngish. Yeah, you have special animals in your life, and he was one of them.
Yeah.
Anyway, I think we've got one more story.
Okay.
Next.
All right.
Well, this is my last one now. This is a visit on Christmas morning. Ava Meredith never used to dread Christmas. For most of her life, it had been her favourite season, the one time of the year when the world felt a little softer, a little kinder, and her big brother Leo always made it feel magical. He'd show up with armfuls of ridiculous presents, lopsided gingerbread houses, and the worst Christmas jumpers the world had ever seen. You know, that's one thing I'm very jealous about.
Yeah.
I would
I'd love to have Christmas.
Maybe we can organise for next year some ugly Christmas T-shirts.
Yeah.
That would be cool.
Yeah. What are those T-shirts that Aussie men wear, the wife beaters.
Oh, the wife beaters. Oh, God, we got a snort out of that.
Wife beaters.
Yeah.
Oh,
You'll have to put a picture up, Renata, so you can explain what they are. But there's basically a Bond singlet top that's normally dark blue and looking a bit ratty.
yeah. Usually bits out of it like something's eaten at it. And
How did we get to that so quick?
because we went from Christmas
Jumpers.
jumpers, which, yes, I am terribly, terribly jealous
Yeah.
of not being able to
You
wear
know
Christmas
those ones
jumpers.
they do as tuxedos, the tuxedo T-shirts? Could we do it like a Christmas jumper like that? But now we're going to give this idea away to the whole world before next year. Don't take it, everyone, please. Well, now I'm lost. That was such an ADHD moment, wasn't it? Completely squirreled off into something else. Merch. Anyway. But last Christmas had been their last together. Aww. Leo was gone. A sudden accident in late January that still felt unreal, as if he were just late coming home. This year, Ava spent December moving through her days like she was underwater. Her parents tried to pretend things were normal, forcing cheer, but the empty chair at the Meredith table screamed louder than any carol. By Christmas Eve, Ava just wanted the holiday over. She went to bed early, not bothering with her usual traditions. She didn't stay up watching old movies. She didn't lay out the silly elf plush Leo had won for her at a carnival. She didn't even plug in the tree lights. She closed her bedroom door and lay in the dark, hugging a pillow that still smelled faintly of cinnamon and pine, scents Leo used to tease her for obsessing over. Eventually, she cried herself to sleep. Aww. It's hard at Christmas. The first Christmas is just horrible when you've lost someone you love.
It is.
Sometime in the early morning hours, Ava stirred. A soft glow leaked in under her eyelids, steady and warm. She blinked awake. Her bedroom was illuminated by a pale golden light. Not harsh like a lamp, not flickering like a candle, just a gentle radiance that seemed to fill the air itself. Her first thought was, power surge. Her second thought was, this doesn't feel like electricity. Something tugged at her attention, a faint humming sound. No, not humming, more like someone quietly laughing the way Leo used to when he told stories he could barely get through. Ava pushed herself up, and then she froze. There, sitting on the edge of her bed, was Leo.
Wow.
He looked healthy. Better than the last month she remembered. No hospital pallor, no exhaustion in his eyes. His hair was the slightly messy cut he always had before he got sick, the one he never bothered to style. He wore the old burgundy jumper with the switched snowflake pattern, the one he'd worn on their last Christmas morning together. She donated it after he died. She remembered putting it in the bag. Yet, here it was. Here he was. Aves, he said, smiling softly. Hey. Her breath caught in her throat. She couldn't speak. Leo leaned forward, resting his arms on his knees. You're still terrible at pretending you're okay, he teased gently. You've always been a terrible liar. Ava's voice finally cracked out. You're not real. He shrugged a little. Real enough. Tears blurred her vision. I miss you. Every day. I don't know how to... Her voice broke. Leo moved closer, placing a hand over hers, and she felt it. Warm, solid, comforting. Just like before. Listen, he said softly. You've been carrying all the grief by yourself. I know you think taking care of everyone else means ignoring your own hurt, but that's not how this works. She shook her head, overwhelmed. If I let myself feel everything, I'm scared I won't stop. He chuckled, the familiar sound that always made her smile. You will, and you're stronger than you think. Leo squeezed her hand. I didn't come to scare you or to confuse you. just to tell you something." Ava swallowed, nodding. "I'm okay," he whispered. "Better than okay. And you don't have to hold on so tightly to the pain to remember me." She wiped at her face. "What if I forget things about you? What if I lose parts of you?" Leo smiled. "Then make new parts. Remember the dumb pranks, the burnt cookies, the time I tried to build that ridiculous snow fort and it collapsed on me." She actually laughed. He grinned. "That's the stuff that matters," he said. "Not how I left, how I lived." Ava stared at him, her heart aching. "I don't want you to go." "I know," he said gently, "but I came to tell you it's okay to let the world in again." He touched her cheek, warm, solid, achingly familiar. "And Ava," she held her breath, "you don't have to do Christmas alone. I'll be part of it whether you feel me or not. That's what love does." The golden glow around him began to dim, thinning into motes of soft light. "No," she whispered, reaching out. He caught her hand one last time. "I'm not gone, Aves. Just different." His form grew translucent. The outline of his body shimmered. "Look for me in the good bits," he whispered. "That's where I'll be." And then, like a candle gently blown out, the light faded. The warmth retreated. The room went still. Ava sat on the bed, stunned. The indentation where he'd been sitting remained for a moment longer than seemed possible, then slowly lifted. She didn't sleep again. She waited for the sun. When morning finally arrived, Ava stepped into the living room. Her parents were awake, bleary-eyed, drinking coffee and going through the motions. Her mother attempted a smile. "Merry Christmas, sweetheart." Ava took a breath she hadn't been able to take in almost a year, walked towards them and hugged them both tighter than usual. "Merry Christmas," she said, and meant it. For the first time in months she felt lighter. Not healed, not even whole, but no longer sinking. Later, as she helped her father plug in the Christmas tree lights, she noticed something odd. The old burgundy snowflake jumper, the one she had definitely donated, hung neatly over the arm of the sofa. She stared at it, heart thudding. A tiny patch of golden shimmer dusted the sleeve, then vanished. Ava smiled. "Hello, Leo," she whispered. And somewhere in memory, in spirit, in love, she felt him smile back.
That was a shitty story to end on, Anne.
Oh,
That's
I think
all I'm
it's
saying.
lovely.
Because I think most of us are crying right now.
Oh, well, I just think that's a lovely story because it just, your loved ones are there, and maybe just for someone that made them look at Christmas a little differently, and knowing that they're still there and they're still loved.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that's a really good way to end on a downer, isn't it? Should I find a Christmas joke to say?
No, please don't. So I know what you'll end up
with. It'd be
with.
something to do with balls, for sure.
Absolutely. Oh, but yeah, that brings us probably to the end, please, of these Christmas stories. I can't stand another one like that.
Sorry about
You've
that.
broken me. The worst, it would have been just a tiny little bit worse if it had an animal involved in that story.
Yeah.
Then I would have had to stand up and smash your face before you
okay.
finished it.
Oh, Merry
'Cause
Christmas, Renata.
I wouldn't have been able to stand it. But anyways...
We want to wish you all a wonderful Christmas celebration, however you celebrate your Christmas, whatever your faith, whatever your belief. We wish you the best, and I hope that your next year is going to be a fabulous one. Remember to tell the people that you love, that you do love them or like them even. Give them a hug. Let them know while they're alive. I'm going downhill again,
Yeah,
Renata.
you
Save
are.
me.
Yeah, and look, please note that for some people, Christmas isn't the best of seasons. It is something that they still carry a lot of sorrow around, especially if they are missing someone, whether it's someone who has just passed in the last 12 months or someone that passed 20 years ago. That pain can still be quite alive for them. So be generous with your kindness to people. Take a moment not to get into road rage about some silly person who just wants to break into your lane, or someone who is elbowing you out of a line at the
Christmas
local
sales.
Christmas sales and whatever. Let them go. Just let them do it. And you go and sit down and have a cup of coffee somewhere and go, that's okay. That's a piece I need.
Have a cup of coffee with us, because I can tell you we'll be having several, won't we?
We'll be having several. I might even have a drink or two this Christmas.
Ooh,
I think I'm ready for it.
I think I'm ready for it too. Anyway, we're not going to hound you with the normal stuff we hound you with. We're going to give you that as your gift this Christmas. We'll be back with another episode in 2 weeks, or 2 weeks on the Friday.
Yeah.
And have a great one. Hope Santa's good to you.
Stay spooky.
See you on the dark side. Be frightfully good.
And don't be a dickhead. Merry
Bye.
Christmas.
Merry Christmas!
Thank you for listening to this episode of True Hauntings. If you like the show, give us a 5-star rating and leave a review. Subscribe on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you're listening right now. For more on Anne and Renata, follow @Anne and Renata on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube.